RFK Jr. fact checks and destroys everyone who's calling Trump a Nazi. We'll start with him. We'll get to some black Haitian immigrants that are pro-Trump. We've got a great show for you. Welcome to the Doug TeNapel channel. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where the happy patriots are. You'll notice if you click the description of each of these videos, I now have a merchandise site. I just made a jogging bra for women. There's cups, there's t-shirts. They're going to keep expanding. I'm going to keep trying to get some lower cost items up too. Be patient with me, but the store's open and you guys can start ordering stuff. It really helps us pay some bills around here. And it's a lot of fun.
And here you have the leading Democrats in the last couple of weeks and the press. MSNBC has been really appalling.
Insane.
So RFK Jr. specifically calls out MSNBC, rightfully so. I mean, they're crazy. Everyone knows that's like as far off of the reservation as you can get in all of TV. We're going to get to the polls because these polls help explain kind of what is making them go nuts. This is from CNN on what Latinos really think of Kamala Harris versus Trump.
Harris, as I said, had an 18-point advantage with Latinos. Biden in the 2020 exit polls, he had a 24-point advantage over Trump 4 years ago among Latinos in Arizona.
How bad is Harris? Latinos despise her more than they hate old, rich, white Biden. In Arizona and Nevada, she way underperforms Biden. So how do you explain that if she's supposed to be this breakthrough, amazing minority candidate? Minorities like Latinos are going like, I'll take the rich, old, white, racist Biden, please.
If I were to give you the test that my parents had to take to be allowed in this country legally, would you pass it? My parents, their first languages are not English.
Oh, okay. So
you get to take it in English. My parents are from the Philippines.
Okay, this is a girl. She's a Democrat, so she's championing her victimhood. This is kind of about the debating where we're talking past each other. It's, there's a Haitian guy that's going to stand up and kind of straighten her out. He doesn't want to be a victim. She does want to be a victim. It's largely why she wants to be a Democrat and he wants to be a Republican, in my opinion.
I'm going to respond to this because I came from a very poor country, third world country, and I speak 4 languages. When I first moved here from Haiti to college, I had to take a TOEFL test to be able to get into college, and I did it. Every single exam, I had to translate everything into French in my head first to understand what the question is asking and then answer the question. Guess what? Everybody had 1 hour. It took me also an hour to do all that. I never once thought that I was a victim.
That's the key. That guy, I'd hire him to do anything, to run my company. I mean, because he's not a victim and he has had to perform so much to be able to be a citizen here and to go to college here. My hat's off to him. The Democrat girl, who's the type of girl that would come walking in saying, give me a job. I had it. It's so tough for me. Not so much.
Democrats is at a point right now where they are shipping illegal immigrants. They don't even know who they are. Even people from my own country. We have actual criminals. Don't shake your heads because I'm Haitian. I speak Creole very, very clearly, and I still have families in Haiti. We have criminals from my own country traveling here to the border, and where they are placing them in the black communities, like for example in Chicago.
Now, I just want to know: is that guy supposed to be a racist? Is he fascist? Is he terrible for having that opinion? Or is he not allowed to freely say it? That's what I hate, is the idea of, does he have to be this black guy to be able to say that opinion? Why couldn't a white person say that opinion? It's like, let these people speak and just judge someone by the content of their argument, not the color of their skin. Please, can we start yet? Martin Luther King's dream that the Democrat Party is trying to roll up and throw away.
They are closing indoor playgrounds where black kids and Hispanic kids are using during the winter time to put in these people inside those places. They are taking funds away from the people who are there.
So he's basically speaking the language of the streets of Chicago, facts that there's only a certain amount of resources for poor black, American, homeless people and families, and it's being used by these new illegal immigrants they're bringing in and trying to make legal.
So as an immigrant, I think it's the worst thing for this country, for black people, Hispanic people, to vote Democrats, because you guys have been leading this country for 16 years. Yeah. Black America was the worst it's ever been. Trump has done the most he's ever done in just 4 years. Okay. So cut the bull crap.
Cut the bull caca. And they're all just silenced by him. Absolutely destroyed with one argument. Here's Eric Adams continuing where the journalists can't get off of calling Republicans a fascist. They brought it up again, and he's like, listen, you're children. And remember, Eric Adams is a Democrat.
And they're talking about these real problems we're having. And with all that's going on to everyday New Yorkers, we're asking questions that is someone a fascist or is someone a Hitler. That's insulting to me. That is insulting. And I'm not going to engage in that. Everyone needs to turn down the rhetoric. Because after Election Day, we still have to be the United States and not the divided states.
And there was so much joy in the room and optimism and patriotism and idealism about our country. And it was the opposite of Nazism.
That's RFK Jr. Coming up after Eric Adams. You know, everyone else but these tiny percentage of the Democrat Party, everyone else is over the Nazi talk. They're just going like, you guys look stupid and clownish. And you're not going to win on that kind of talk.
And so if people can't understand their real issues facing New Yorkers, and I just find it just humiliating that what everyday mom and pops are doing and going through across this country, that here we are having this conversation about this silly item.
He's just baffled that the press keeps bringing up this conversation. We're going to get into why the press is doing it and what the fallout is on them right after this quote from Eric Adams.
So I refuse to participate in that. I'm going to fight for New Yorkers like I've done for years, and whomever can understand that, they're not in the streets. When I'm at these town halls, talking to people there, they're not asking me these silly questions. We are in this bubble. You know, and I know you guys really believe these stories you're writing. It gives you a lot of clicks. It's exciting and give you headlines. But this is not what New Yorkers and Americans are dealing with, folks.
He's slamming the media. Thank you, Eric Adams. You're a stud. A whole lot of Democrats I'm not real fond of. But you, even though you're a criminal, I would put you back in office before most Democrats. I would vote for you over most Democrats. Here, Mario Narfal, kind of backing up Eric Adams here on excoriating the press. Study: TV news hits a new bias high, 78% positive Kamala. They're doing 78% puff pieces on Kamala saying how great she is versus 85% negative pieces on Trump. They're lying. They're losing their hold on you. No one believes the media anymore. Major networks, this is ABC, CBS, NBC, have delivered the most unbalanced election coverage in history. Media research finds this is the kind of propaganda that Stalin and Hitler actually did have. Like you were only, or in Iran or in Iraq when Saddam Hussein would win 100% of the vote. Okay, Banana Republic stuff, when you don't have a free press. Networks spent 31% of Trump coverage on controversies while dedicating only 5% of Kamala coverage to critical topics. The study analyzed over 600 segments since July. The coverage gap exceeds both 2016 and 2020 elections, so we're getting worse as networks gave twice as much airtime to Trump after the September debate, mostly negative. Findings come as Gallup shows public trust in media hits a new low, deservedly 36%. Having no trust at all. Now, here's what Latinos think of Harris.
Harris is +1 with Latinos in Nevada in our poll, but according to the 2020 exit polls, Biden won them by 26 percentage points. If that actually is what emerges on Election Day, that's a big warning sign in Nevada.
Yeah, Nevada could go to Trump, and the Latinos could do it. That is, Latinos are not buying the racist BS coming from the Democrats. Here's RFK to wrap us up.
The need to use that most evocative and explosive and incendiary and poisonous reference, and it's being used across the top ranks of the Democratic Party. It's Hillary Clinton, it's Kamala. I think it's bad for our country.
Bad for our country. I like that he brings out that they're using it by their leadership. Trump had one stand-up comic make a Puerto Rican joke, but theirs goes all up and down. The Democrat leadership are doing this Nazi stuff with Trump and the entire media complex. They're, of course, foolish. Does Trump still win? Are you still on board with voting for him? Have you voted yet? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Doug in exile.